van a encontrar que
spread. I think you're seeing a lot of other news organizations sort of begun to embrace this model. Now, try different ways of being with somebody, whether you're walking with them.
Que la prensa, los reporteros, todos que están involucrados en informar a los públicos en América Latina son claves en la cuestión de la promoción y en la defensa de la democracia. Sin públicos bien informados no hay posibilidades de extender y defender el tipo de gobierno que representa al pueblo, que defiende al pueblo. Orgullosa de ser periodista, es ganadora de otro gran premio de los Estados Unidos, el Pulitzer Prize.
The question now, how do you try to do video for the country? We really have no beats to speak of, which is kind of an...
Yo recuerdo que iba con el camarógrafo, detrás de la unidad del servicio médico forense porque no sabían si había más muertos, ¿no?
Y al fin ya no pudo responder al escuchar su nombre como lo hacía cuando pasaban lista en su escuela. Fueron sus amigos quienes dijeron presente y dieron el último adiós al estudiante de 15 años que murió por una bala perdida.
It's actually a very interesting and auspicious day for the Times because this is a new show that our group is...
The use of the tripod, a good microphone, the lighting and the background. What is the most common mistake that people who is making the transition is doing when they are going to this new arena of the internet?
Yeah, well, you hit on the key things: the lighting, the sound, and the steadiness of the camera. All three of those things are important. All three of them, I think, are to some extent in equal measure things that people make a mistake to ignore. Probably the most difficult to endure as a viewer is sound. So sound is by far the most important thing to not screw up. In other words, you can have a shaky camera, but if the sound's good, as one of the stories that I demonstrated, where you had the shaky camera, but the sound worked and the story still worked, it was watchable. But if you have bad sound, you have no story. But all three of those things ultimately are important. You want good light. If you're to do even a semi-professional presentation or story, you need good light, you need a steady camera, and you need good sound.
That's very interesting because recently we were talking about a group of news directors about what will be the main appealing for the viewers now. And we used to follow the mantra, write for video. And they were telling us now that it's sound the key element now for more than the video. Do you agree with that?
Well, there's no denying the importance of sound. And I think a well-told NPR story is as good as any video story to some extent. So the visuals are still of immense importance, and you do need to write for video. You still need to always write to video because that's how you keep people's attention. But there's no denying, again, the importance of sound. So I'm not sure whether, as far as priorities go, which ones, say, better or more valuable. But you know, I'd say they're both still very important. But there's no denying that sound, especially, again, you listen to a good NPR report, sound is of immense importance.
You were also telling us about what elements make a good video story.
Well, the elements that make a good video story are three. You need a good character. You need someone who speaks well on camera or has a good presence on camera and who's got a good story to tell and who is willing to take you into that story. You need a good setting. You can't just shoot somebody in an office working on their computer for the most part. You need a good place. You need good visuals. And then you need, to some extent, you need a journey. You need to go with somebody somewhere. You need to learn something. You need to have a beginning, a middle, and an end.